There are a lot of properties that have solid, established in rock origin stories. But what happens when they take it beyond just the origin? What happens when the first few shows or stories or the entire first movie is told over and over? Today we're going to look at the top 5 rebooted properties that go by a checklist for their first stories. I'm Ollamh, and welcome to 5 Count Friday.
You think you know me? You think you can catch me? You think you can trust me? Nobody knows the secret that I keep deep in my soul.
This one may not necessarily be a single movie, but let me explain. There is a certain formula, especially as far as anything involving the original crew. For example, the first movie has to deal with a new ship and an extremely powerful alien of some sort that is from another time. In the original motion picture, it was the Voyager probe coming back. In the reboot, it was Nero and his super killer ship. They even have to focus on one of the crew not really supposed to be part of the crew, though they switched the member from Spock to Kirk. The second movie is even less original. It focuses on Khan. Now, admittedly, the reboot second movie is more along the lines of the original series Space Seed, finding the augmented humans and ending with them still alive. However, there is also the focus of a member of the crew sacrificing themselves to save the ship, so it certainly counts for unoriginality. The third movie we aren't able to get too deep into as the reboot series' third movie hasn't been released yet. We can point out a few similarities though, such as the destruction of the Enterprise. They can't seem to keep a ship for more than a couple of movies. Both also have the crew, at least some of the crew, being stranded on a hostile planet, such as the Genesis planet that is being torn apart. So even though we have to look at more than a single movie, there are some very solid points that they feel they have to reestablish, and solidifies the ranking on our list today. How much can you really introduce these young mutants? From the original movie to several incarnations of the cartoon and even the rebooted movie, it always starts off with them being completely secretive and April O'Neil stumbling across them. Then something has to happen to Splinter and the boys are left to their own devices. Normal story checklist requires that they have to go somewhere away from the city and try to get their stuff together. During this time, Leonardo has to face the torment of being the leader of the team. He's not sure if he can handle the mantle of leadership, though. Meanwhile, Raphael decides to strike off on his own, often fighting crime while the others are training. Towards the last third of the story, Leo shows that he can be a good leader. Raphael realizes that you don't abandon your team, especially when they're your brothers, and they come together as a good, solid team. If you manage to get the license to do a TMNT story, this is almost required to be the first story you do. The Man of Steel has a good, solid background, but it's more than just his origin story. This is part of the first story. It's not just him dealing with being the last Kryptonian, but deciding whether or not to use his powers to help people. It's surprising that he has never had to deal with the idea of becoming a criminal. That never even crosses his mind. There's always the question of Lois Lane, trying to find out more about him, and he tries to balance love and the need for secrecy. Throw in the issues of not actually being the last Kryptonian, whether it be Zod or Brainiac. You have a pretty solid base for dealing with Superman. Why can't we ever see the dilemma of whether humans deserve him saving us? Or him wondering if he could use his powers for his own benefit? Heck, maybe even the issue of a country bumpkin who grew up as a farmer trying to get a job as a journalist in the big city. Ah, The Dark Knight. Even more than the Man of Steel, there's a solid narrative that must be followed. At the beginning, we have to cover his torment of the death of his parents. The police have to deny its existence to the public, who only have rumors about his existence. You can throw in the training he has to go through if you want to, but ultimately, you have to have a villain that Batman deals with before they're shown to be the major bad guy. Finally, Batman has to deal with being too much of a loner. Can he really deal with a supervillain all by himself? Nope. He'll have to work with someone else, quite often dealing with the police. By the end, the villain is taken care of and the bat signal is unveiled. Is there any story that has been told so often, even non-comic fans know it by heart? We've seen so many reboots and reimaginings that I swear babies are born knowing where Spider-Man comes from and how he comes about. Now I appreciate sticking to the source material, but can we please change it up a little? Now with another reboot coming up, I hope that this one property that doesn't feel the need to show Spider-Man getting bitten, making his suit, and poor old Uncle Ben biting the dust. I mean, he's introduced already with his powers, and with a much younger Aunt May, does he have to worry about her having a heart attack if she finds out about him? Please, move on with Spider-Man. So there are our 5 most scripted reboot stories. What do you think? Was there a story that has been told so many times in movies and TV shows that they have things almost too scripted? Is there an item on the list that you love watching no matter how many times you've seen it? Leave a comment down below, send us a tweet, or post a comment on our Facebook, and let us know. We love to know what you think. As always, thank you very much for watching. And stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you wanna see some crazy,
Cheerio!
then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got no money, we'll sure as hell find it.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand. They find out who Art Mooney is. We can take out a security drone, but where did we drop it from? We should have been you should have been able to see our feet. You should have been able to see our feet.